Hello and welcome to my video. Today I'm going to be talking about my attempt in trying to buy a Tesla Model 3, and this is specifically related to those with little credit history. Now keep in mind it's not for those who have a bad credit score. I don't know exactly if that might be the case or if it might be a similar scenario, but in short, this is specifically for people who have no more than 3 years of credit history and they're trying to finance the Tesla Model 3. So I was trying to find some videos on YouTube. I wasn't able to find anything on detail in terms of specific people with little credit, and I thought it would be a good idea to simply do a video and explain and guide the problems and probably the issues I'm going through, and hopefully how we can fix them eventually. So the first question I do want to answer is, why do I want a Tesla? For some time I have been saving for a car, and I currently drive a small little red Prius. Currently this car, it is a little too small for my growing family. I have a wife and 2 kids. So as you guys can imagine, a smaller Prius might become eventually a little small. Tesla definitely could be a good alternative, but that's not the only reason why I do want a Tesla. I mean, I could buy a more affordable SUV. The other reason is I want to start listing this Tesla on Turo to hopefully give me some side income. And I'll probably explain this more about Turo in the future in another video, because I know there's a lot of mixed feelings about whether that's a good idea or not. But based on my analysis, I mean, Turo seems to be like a good option. Now, the second question I want to answer is, can I really afford a Tesla? So one thing is wanting a Tesla, and then the other thing is being able to afford it. There's a saying that if you can't pay for it twice, you can't afford it. In this case, I am going to come in with a down payment. So I've been making a lot of numbers, and for those of you who don't know me or who haven't seen previous videos on my channel, I studied counting, so I'm pretty confident with numbers when it comes to numbers and being able to analyze whether something might break even or not. And so I do make $44,000 a year. Currently I'm employed. I don't have really any rent, or if I do have rent, I mean, I pay like $1,000 a month because the house is my parents'. And then in addition to that, like I mentioned, I do plan on listing the Tesla on Turo. Briefly, the reason why I'm going to be doing that, for those of you who don't know what Turo is, just like a renting platform. It's like an Airbnb for your car. The reason why I want to be doing that is because I live in Las Vegas, and there's a lot of tourism, probably not right now, but there's demand for Teslas, and there's a good opportunity in my case to possibly make some extra money, and not really make money, but help me finance or make the payments for the car. Now, with that still being said, pretty much the monthly payment I'm estimating, or the total cost of the car per month to be, is around $890. If I were to not rent it at all, I would still be able to pay that $890 a month payment. And then on top of that, I do get a car allowance from my company, so I get anywhere between $200 to $250. So again, assuming that I do get that car allowance and some revenue on Turo, I would only bring somewhere around $350 out of pocket every month for having a Tesla and my current car, the Prius. That's paying insurance, that's paying all that stuff. So now let's get into the good thing, guys. Actually starting my Tesla buying experience. And the reason I shared all that background information was because it gets a little bit interesting. I thought it was going to be very easy. I mean, honestly, if when I placed the order, it took me no more than, I would say, 4 minutes. Like you guys can see right there on the screen. I mean, this is exactly the same steps I did. I went ahead and picked my color, the trim, and everything. since I am going to be listing this car for rent on Turo, I didn't want to go with anything other than the least expensive Model 3. So in total, it's just going to be $37,900. I went ahead and paid the $100. I got this email saying, welcome to the Tesla family, watch some videos, let's get all excited. And so, I did watch some videos and simply awaited, I did apply for the financing. So next day, really in the morning, I get an email from Tesla, one of the Tesla finance team, and they explained how my application has not been approved and how I have other alternative options. I could add a cosigner, I could go with a different bank, I could go with a third party, I could just pay in cash. So I did go ahead and respond, and pretty much I explained, hey, you know what, I'm going to look for a third party, but at the same time, I might be able to get my father as a cosigner. My father definitely has very good credit. I mean, he has some businesses, and so he wouldn't have any problem co-signing me. The only concern here would be, my father definitely doesn't like, I guess anybody doesn't like just messing around with their information. So they told me, yeah, absolutely, if you do decide to go with the cosigner, just send us a driver's license, we'll add them, and then I submit another application. So I went ahead and did that. I spoke with my father. He agreed to co-sign. And then after submitting the application again, I got another email from David saying, hey, we finished reviewing the joint application, and they declined for the same reason. So this is the same reason they declined when it wasn't a joint application. So limited credit experience, that's how they're calling it. And so I went ahead and drafted an email. I told him, hey, thanks, for keeping me updated, but keep in mind this is my father. I don't understand, why it's the same decision. I would have thought that if we added a cosigner, some things would have changed. So in his case, he did responded back fairly quick, because at this time they have been responding every hour, every day or so. And so he did respond that Chase Bank had approved us for a max loan amount of $25,000 with a kind of high interest rate. And I had to still come up out of pocket with like $17,000 for the Tesla. At that time, I honestly responded back and told him, hey, you know what? I think it's very, very impractical to just drop, $17,000 on a car, especially if I have, like just stocks or investments that are definitely producing profit. So, I'm not gonna go ahead and just drop all this money on a car. So, like I was saying, guys, this is pretty much an ongoing process. It's gonna be probably a part one. I'm still wanting to get the car. I like the car. I still think that Turo has some potential, especially because of my circumstances and where I live. And I'm not a very emotionally attached person to any type of car. So even if I buy this car, I'm not gonna be like really picky about my car. So I think it would be good to own the Tesla, especially because it's going to be fairly simple and easy to maintain and rent. People on Turo are probably going to be wanting to rent a Model 3, and there's not that much competition compared to other cars on the platform. So at this time, I'm really stuck in a dilemma, because at the time of recording this video, I've been approved with one local credit union. And they approved to give me the money for the loan, for the auto loan, but they approved in giving me an 8.45% interest rate, which is ridiculously high compared to the 3% that I should be getting. But I also look at it in this perspective. I've never bought a car, and I do have little credit history in terms of big loans. So the way I see it is possibly as a membership cost, that I'm probably going to have to pay this ridiculously high interest rate for 1 year. And then after 1 year, when I have made all my payments on time, I'm probably going to have to refinance. And, it's a burden. I've asked a lot of people, and apparently they have to pay a little extra always at the very, very beginning. So with that being said, guys, I hope that this video somewhat is educational. if you are thinking of buying a Model 3, and if you have less than 3 years of credit history, or if you've never bought anything above $3,000 value, if your credit cards are not above a $3,000 or $10,000 credit limit, then you might experience a similar scenario like myself. So hopefully this video allows you to, if you really want the car and you really can afford it, definitely I would suggest go to your credit unions around, your city, go to your banks, find more options, find online lenders. But one thing I do want to tell you is just be prepared to pay a much, much higher interest rate. Now, again, it's just a matter of opportunity cost. An 8%, I mean, that's just really, really, really high. But at the same time, you have to think, okay, when are you really going to build that credit up? I mean, you have to start somewhere. And so if somebody could co-sign you and that interest rate drops, then good for you. In my case, apparently Tesla and their lenders, they didn't see any value on my father co-signing. So I'm assuming it's not a matter of credit worthiness in terms of whether I'm going to pay or not. It's more of that short term that just makes banks a little nervous. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I will definitely be submitting more videos on if I do buy the Tesla. I mean, I'm still going forward probably with one of those credit unions. I'm going to be making another update maybe in a week or so. So feel free to subscribe or follow through with the playlists that I'm gonna be uploading these videos on. And I'm also gonna be doing videos once I do join that Turo platform, and possibly doing a video more in depth of whether I'm disclosing all the numbers and all my estimates and forecasts for this Turo platform. So definitely, guys, something I'm excited, something I kind of enjoy, just doing. And if you have any comments or suggestions, definitely feel free to leave them on, below. I do know that perhaps there might be some people that might say, oh my God, don't join Turo. You're going to get your car trashed. You're going to get it, this or that. I mean, I've made my research, guys. I mean, you're more than welcome to still leave those comments, but it all points out that it's a good opportunity that I should at least try. So with that being said, give me a thumbs up, and I'll see you guys later on the next video. Peace.